is Namasuri. Last time we looked at what state a class-based component has. I also tried a simple example called a simple counter that uses this state object. From this time, we will run a more detailed example with these props and state. First, if we simply organize the state, we manage the data of a specific component, and when this data changes, we have confirmed that the screen is updated. This state of the class-based component is used to manage the data that changes, and the UI is updated through it. As you can see, there is a list of this book. As you can see, the example we will proceed from this time. And I'm trying to compose UI that has a search box and also a detail screen for each book. And when you select the list, the detail information of the book is changed. And when you enter a text in the search box, the list is changed to books with titles that include the text. If you look at the components that make up the whole app, the book list items, the book details, and the search bar are organized like this. If you look at the structure diagram, it is as follows. First, the information about the books will use the same static data as we did in props. Access to this static data will only have the app component as whole, and this app component will pass information about all books to the book list, and the book list will deliver information about the book. One by one will create the book list items. And we will add search bar and also a book detail. Likewise, for book detail information about a book, and the search bar will receive a function called onSearchTitle that came through props. What I mean is we will explain it again as we construct the code server, book list detail, book list item won't make a state. The contents related to the state are also expected to have the app component defining the state. And I want to implement the same functions that I just explained by taking those data and passing them to the props. Then let's state now. To proceed with the practice with me, you must first download the template we made. As you can see, if you open a browser with URL github.com namasori react with MobX English that we provided in the last props example, you can download contents of the textbook and the source template as you can see. So first of all, if you look at books, we have uploaded version 2 that is completed up to the state. So next, if you look at the source template, the first prop template is the one we did last time. The second state template is up. So then you can download a folder called state template and include it in the IDE you're using. Once included in this way, this template was first made in CRA. In that project made with CRA, there is a Material UI module that we will use in this exercise. This library related to icons among the Material UI and another module. So it's such a template with those two pre-installed. So after including this as an IDE, actually move to the project. Then if you enter yarn, it will read the dependencies for various modules in this package.json and start downloading related libraries. Then you will be able to download the Material UI core and then the Material UI icons related library and check that node modules are created as you can see in the folder. So if you proceed with yarn start here to confirm that you're ready to practice, You can see a text message like this because we have configured the template so that only simple text can be uploaded. Then you're ready to practice now without any problems. So let's proceed in this state. In public, as we used in props, we put images related to books in the public folder under the name book underbar images. And if you look at the SRC folder, there are two folders called the component folder and then the static data folder. And you probably know that books data is static data. After that, the book detail, book list, and the book list item search are just two shells defined in advance for these four components that you saw earlier. As you can see inside, only the import part related to React is put in these ways. Then we are ready now. We are going to make a search bar first. Of course, I will use the material UI. I will apply the minimal style, but you can proceed one step by step with me without worrying too much about what is shown. As you can see, the structure of the search bar will be search bar that rises above it. I'm going to put an icon here and I'm going to pop up a list text. The book list and the book list item are not much different from the last props, but we made a little change in one or two parts, so you only need to pay attention to that part. Then let's proceed. First, I will start with the search bar. First, define the class search bar and extends component, write the render method, and also a return statement. Next, the search bar will use the search bar you saw earlier. We'll use the text field, which is the text field in the Material UI core. So in the Material UI core is a text field and input adornment. So I'm going to create a search box that I saw before using those two components that can be decorated a little. So let's first start import and put text field and also input adornment from Material UI core. After doing this, it is not difficult to create a text field. So let's define a text field and you can define a text field and specify a prop for the input as a property of this text field. I'm going to specify the props for the input props, and then you need to open two curly braces. First is the JavaScript code. Since you're specifying the properties for the input and text field in the form of an object, put two blocks like this. So let's start with writing start adornment is a description of how to decorate it. And now open the parentheses and add the input adornment that we imported earlier. And the position will be assigned as start. After making it like this, I will apply a search icon inside this. But this search icon is not the Material UI core. It exists in a place called icon search in the Material UI. So you need to do the import one more. Import search icon from Material UI icons. Inside the icon, there's a search. So now if you do from a Material UI icons and import it under search, you can see what the search icons looks like this. So to put this part, I use the component you see now. So make it a search icon like this. If you do this, you will be able to see the search box appearing. After making it like this, now let's do the export default so that the search bar can be used outside and save it. Now you need to make this search bar in a form that can be included in the top component so that it can be displayed on the actual screen. So I'm going to go ahead to the app.js file. First of all, we uploaded the search bar we have received now. So first, import container from Material UI core. Import the component called container from Material UI like this. Next, in the return statement of this app component, specify it as container and add the search bar we just created in this container. We haven't yet decided what to do when we enter ring in the search bar when the onChange event occurs. So I will check only what is on the screen. So let's put container and put search bar inside it. So after saving this, I will check if the search bar actually comes up. The saying that the search bar is not defined means that the auto import was not successful. So you have to type it import search bar from the components folder and the search bar file. After successfully import search bar, then you can see the magnifying glass make and the search bar that you can put text in. First of all, we made a search bar. Now, as the next step, we have to create the book list and book list items that are used to props. This part will be continued from the next time. The book list items has already been done at props once, so it won't be difficult. If you want to try it before the next lecture, you may refer to the example you did last time and practice the composition once. This lecture ends here. Next time, we will proceed with an implementation that includes this book list, book item, and list items. Thank you.